Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Shomek.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back, everyone.
We're here.
We're out here.
Yeah, another week on the podcast.
Episode 85?
Is it really?
85.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's hard to believe.
Cool.
Hey, what are we doing for Christmas this year? I was thinking about this the other day.
Bro, I thought we were crossing the Delaware.
Well, I'd like to do that as friends, but what are we doing on the podcast? I was thinking we should raise money for a charity. We talked about it last year, but like Toys for Tots would be really cool.
We
Yes.
said it last year. We just never did it.
We need a name for our viewers, like the Garden State something.
Yeah, because Jimmy has the Rangers already, so I can't take that.
But I was going to say, what if we rallied the troops and we all, or if we do a day where every piece of merch, like all the proceeds of every piece of merch that's sold goes towards Toys for Tots, something like that. That'd be cool.
What if we
Something cool.
did a live episode at a Christmas tree farm?
Ooh, I like that.
Change up the scenery a bit.
And people can come
Wait.
and donate.
Why doesn't our
Wait.
studio become a Christmas tree farm?
Here's what we should do. We should partner with a Christmas tree farm.
Yep.
And what we'll say is everybody that comes out to the farm this particular Saturday and buys a tree, we get a partnership with the farm. We say, whatever, we make a cut, like 10% of the proceeds go to,
A charity.
and we record the podcast live. Maybe we get some food trucks. Is that too big of a dream?
And then we grab a Christmas tree and put it into our studio.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that as well.
I think we could do that.
We see how long it survives throughout the year.
Do you think anyone would show up
I think so.
if we made a day out of it? Like a
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are saying that they want us to do more community events and more things going on.
Really?
Because we're kind of like, we're kind of like a crab in our shell right here, right? Like we
yeah.
don't really get out. So
Especially Jimmy.
People are like, you guys need to get out and do more things for the community. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's,
I do nothing for the community.
yeah, Jimmy.
it's kind of ironic because in our private lives, all of us, our lives have been devoted to the community.
Yeah.
But on a podcast, I don't know. We should figure it out. I think that's what makes something like this interesting is when you have lots of meetups. And I talked about doing like a 5K. I think it'd be really cool if we sponsored a 5K.
Yeah, I won't be running it, but I'll film it. I'll
I
film
think
you.
we
I'll
should
film you
run
guys
it.
running. I'll film you guys running
A 5K for the cure.
Yeah.
to cure rabies because rabies are just running wild right now.
But I think we should do community events. I think a really fun. I saw Portnoy did that pizza event. You guys saw that?
I did not.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy, the Barstool Sports guy, he reviews pizza places, and he did a festival where he had all his favorite pizza places in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut come out. So you're talking about like Santillo's, John's on Bleecker, like all these amazing spots that most of us have been to. And they're all in one location, and you just show up, I guess, listen to music and eat pizza all day, which sounds
It's
like awesome.
beautiful.
So what if we took that and made
We got to brainstorm off air.
yeah, we
Because
could.
we're
Sorry,
gonna
I get-
say stuff and then we're never gonna do it because that's how it works here. On the
I'm an
podcast.
ideator. I'm the person that can think of stuff, but I'm not the person that's going to figure out how to schedule all of it.
Yeah, people
So-
are gonna get upset if we don't actually do any of this stuff. We'll
Yeah.
do it. I like the Christmas tree idea.
I was going to say, like a Christmas tree festival. Mm-hmm. We show up and everyone cuts down a tree. It sounds a little cultic, though. So, okay, let's move on.
It's
Hey,
like
guys.
it's like the Christmas tree burning festival we talked about.
I got flack for that. All right, well, welcome back, everybody, to the listeners. Guys, we every week we like to do our little weekend recap. What happened to that soundbite, by the way?
Oh no, it goes in. Do you listen to the podcast?
Yeah, I do.
Goes in after.
It goes.
Yeah, but
I mean,
what I mean is, like, where is it here?
we don't need it there.
Oh, okay, I like to click it.
I know.
Well, let's do a little weekend recap.
I love it.
Weekend recap.
So, what'd you guys do this weekend in the Garden State?
Oh, see, Chomik and I left the Garden State.
No, what?
We left.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Jimmy's always like, oh, that's how you always start your.
Because
your,
I got excited
Oh.
because I remembered that we did something together.
Where did we go?
On Friday, we went to go see our friend Steve
Oh, true.
play a show in New York City.
That was really cool. I wish I could have been there. Tell the listeners
See,
about
it was
that.
very exciting. Our friend Steve, he's in a band called Sunfade, and they played a show at just like a little clothing store in New York City.
Bro,
It was awesome.
It's not a little clothing store. It's
Noah.
which
Okay,
is
it's
like
Noah.
Jimmy's
incredibly.
like, I don't know what that is.
So is that like their flagship Soho store?
I don't know.
So they played a show at Noah's shop in Soho. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was
Is it-
awesome.
Is it a weekend if Jimmy doesn't go to a show? I feel like he goes to a show every single
I
weekend.
was gonna say, because Jimmy was taking lots of pics, I was like, if I ever started a band, I know if there's one ride or die, I know it'd be Jimmy.
Oh, you're set.
Love live music more than anyone I know.
I love live music. I love photographing live music. And on top of all of that, I love watching my friends play live music.
Yeah.
So
if you want to check out our friend Steve's band, look up Sunfade on Spotify.
And if you have a band and you're looking for a photographer, hit up Jimmy Parks.
Yeah, or if you have
He's
Philly
very
tickets.
exclusive, so
Oh,
we'll
wait.
see.
You got those Philly tickets. Did you go to the game this
I
weekend?
did. Well, that was on Thursday.
That will count as the weekend because we didn't talk about it
That
last
works,
week.
yeah.
Phillies won,
Oh, man.
beat the Mets.
Of course, classic.
It was awesome. The seats were great. Thanks to the listener that sent them to me.
What's the listener's name?
I forget now.
Oh,
man.
terrible.
I have to
I
go
was
back
waiting
through
to
my
ask you that. I
DMs.
knew you were going to say that.
I forgot. I was hoping that
It's
he
getting
was
too
going to be like
popular.
sitting next to me, and then we could like talk and chat about New Jersey, talk about Philly.
Oh, they didn't show up.
No.
Imagine if it was a setup to get you to sit there and he's going to be behind you.
Yeah.
They should have put you on the
And then I got,
Jumbotron.
like, murdered.
That'd be awesome.
You guys always go to darkest paths.
Yeah, sorry, my brain's negative. But that show looked cool. I was a little jealous I didn't get to make my way out. You guys had a good time? Did you mosh at all? Get
It was a
crazy in the
blast.
pit?
It was a really good time.
Chomik actually crowd surfed.
I wish I did. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I did. I
Yeah.
wish I did. It was in a store.
What's Soho like nowadays? I haven't been in that part of the city in so long.
There was some festival going on, so it was packed. Like
Oh,
streets
yeah, like
were
a
shut down.
Bunch of streets were shut down. It was cool.
But I did get a pretty clutch parking spot, so
Really?
that's all that
That's
That's all that
matters.
matters, right?
That's
On
all
a
that
Friday night in the
matters.
city, just get a.
Well, we went down this street that was like shut down, and it was all this traffic, and then all of a sudden, this one singular parking spot just appeared next to me.
I remember we were driving around parking, and I was just going off to Jimmy. I was like, how I hate the city. I couldn't stand. It took forever to find a parking spot. I was like, this is why we don't come here. And then we finally got a spot.
Do you want to comment on my parallel parking?
Oh, Jimmy had. Let me just say, guys, Jimmy fit into the tightest parking spot ever. I'm very impressed. I couldn't have done it myself. So
First try.
first try.
It's really good.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, you probably couldn't do it sobs. It was tough.
I'm always impressed by the way Jimmy's able to park his Jeep.
It's really cool.
He's a gift.
Thanks. Appreciate
He's a
that.
generational
It's like
talent.
a little Christmas tree right here.
Thanks.
Always lighting up bright.
I remember when Shelby lived on the Lower East Side. She lived in the best area because I could park under the bridge. Josh, you used to go to that area a lot. Mm-hmm. That's like the best part of the city ever to park where she was at. I'd park under
Yeah.
the Williamsburg Bridge. There's always a spot waiting for me.
Yep.
But anywhere else in the city, you just can't find a spot. I feel like it's just
Yeah.
not. So I didn't do anything this weekend, guys. I realize every week I ask you and then we move on.
we don't mention
Like,
it.
last
Because we
weekend-
already know. We're like, sobs.
Well, last week
His father.
No, last week I went to the German Fest and I forgot to share
yeah,
that with
you
guys.
do so many fun things and you just like forget. Like
I
when
went
you
to
sit
the
on
German
pod.
Fest in Dover last weekend.
What's
and
the wait? I didn't even know this. What's the German Fest?
dude, it's a bunch of people dressed in German attire.
Wait, is it Oktoberfest?
Kind of like that, yeah. But it's like they sell pretzels and there's little booths where you can get German clothing and like.
Was
there's
June
nuts.
dressed up?
No, but I might need to get her some German attire to embrace the roots.
What's German? Like the kilts and stuff like that?
It's not a kilt. It's like lederhosens or whatever. I don't even know what it's called. But it's
Lederhosen.
That is what it's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that word just bothers me for some
it's
reason.
the German. I was sitting there thinking, and this is
Einstein.
someone with German heritage, but I was like sitting there thinking like this place was decked out, German flags, and I was just thinking like, I wonder if our grandfathers like could time travel from like 1945 to now and just see how much the world will change. Because you're sitting there at this in the middle of Jersey, and it looks like you're in Germany basically. Like it was
Yeah.
pretty crazy to see because it's just I don't know.
Where
Maybe
is it
that's-
at? Like, what's the location?
They're all over. There's the one in Clark happens every year too.
Oh yeah, true.
It's at those sorts of places. This one was in
Got
Dover.
you.
I don't know. It's just like any festival. People go get food. People go drink. They do all this craziness. But I had some bratwurst. I had a pretzel, and I realized I mean, again, I have some German heritage, so I could say this. There's a reason you see Chinese restaurants You'll see a Portuguese barbecue spot. You'll never see a German food spot. You'll never see like Das Bratwurst.
Someone's about to get really mad.
Well,
I thought that stuff is good. What are you talking about?
I like pretzels. There are pretzel spots, but like bratwurst, I guess it's like a hot dog. But
Yeah, it is a hot dog.
It was cold. It was like all the.
Oh.
And maybe it's not supposed to be served like that, but the food I got bratwurst with a side of potatoes, and the potatoes came out cold.
That's not good.
It was like
Seems like it was just a dud of a fest.
I'm like, this is why we're great engineers. This is why we make Volkswagens and BMW and
we
Mercedes
don't
Benz. It's because the engineer side of the brain is awesome, but the
Jeez.
food is like, I don't know. Maybe someone's gonna get offended there. I don't really care.
We're doing an Oktoberfest next week. We're playing a DJ set at Brooklyn Mirage with
Oh, cool.
Arizona. So I'm
Awesome.
going to be there. I'll report back if there's any pretzels or
Pretzels are great.
what is it? Dude, I'm going to get hate for this. Bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
Bratwurst. I always forget how to say it.
It's just like a hot dog.
Bratwurst. I know what it is. I've had it before. I just I never say it like that.
Well, I guess a hot dog is like bratwurst. Actually, it's the opposite.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, because that bratwurst probably would have been around 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I can't bash the Germans. They literally invented the hot dog, but it's just there's I don't know. So let's. That was last weekend. This weekend I didn't do anything exciting. Anything.
Well, it rained.
noteworthy.
It was a dud of a weekend. I had I had 2 rounds of golf planned. Saturday and Sunday was going to be a great weekend of golf because I'm planning to leave soon, as you guys know, on tour. So I was like, I want to get golfing with the boys, and we all got so much rain this weekend, so I couldn't play golf.
I love.
so sad.
I love a rainy Saturday where there's no excuse for you're allowed to just do nothing.
Dude, I love
hate it.
rainy weekdays. Saturdays and Sundays are supposed to be nice, so you can go outside and get away. Because during the weeks I'm locked on my computer for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if it's raining, I'm like I don't feel bad. I'm locked inside because it's raining. I can't go outside.
True.
Weekends, I'm like I want to go play golf. That's it. I just want to go play golf.
Yeah.
And if it's raining, I can't play golf, and that's like the only thing I like to do. So.
And
It was
it's
it was a buzzkill this weekend.
And it's going to be depressing when people are listening to this on Friday morning and it's raining.
Maybe. Is it gonna rain?
It's supposed to rain Friday and Saturday this weekend.
Wow.
It could be vibey. If someone's driving to work listening to the podcast, shout out to everyone driving to work listening to the podcast right now. We love you guys. It's kind of might be a vibe in the rain.
I was planning to go to Ort Farms on Saturday
Ooh.
to go get a little pumpkin picking in with some family, and the rain kind of killed the vibe.
Can you do that this weekend?
I probably could. Last Friday morning, I will say, I went to this little farm in Basking Ridge. You guys know Basking Ridge?
Oh,
yeah.
Basking Ridge.
Yeah.
And it was like a little side of the road sort of spot, but we didn't go like apple picking or anything, but we just got some lunch and it was awesome. I don't know the name of it. I think it's Weitzman's Farm. Whiteman's Farm.
This guy's always up to something.
Yeah, I
You
did
just
do
never
that.
tell us about
Yeah, I
these
never tell
things
you
you
about
do.
it. Yeah, I
It's a
guess
cool thing to share. You're always like downplaying your weekends.
It was good. It was a good time. I just didn't go to any shows in Soho like you guys. But do you have anything else you want to say, or should we just dive into this mailbag?
I do want to say that our hoodies are in stock.
Oh, before we get in the mailbag, our hoodies are back in stock.
We got
ladies and
the classic
gentlemen.
green.
Yeah.
And then we got the gray university hoodie. We're wearing it right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching the podcast.
You look
but
good, dude.
You look good.
Really?
I look good. Jimmy's got the gray on. They're just, it's hoodie season. It's 55 degrees right now outside. Gorgeous. The best time of the year. So, if you need to stay warm, get yourself a hoodie today at thegardenstate.com.
I love this hoodie.
It's one of my favorite hoodies.
It's my favorite
I go back
hoodie.
and forth.
I like the green one more than the gray.
Oh,
for me
I like
personally.
the gray.
I put this thing on and I just feel like
I like the blue.
I do like the blue.
But yeah, there's only like 4 of those left. So if you want a blue hoodie, go get that now fast.
Before we get into this week's episode, we want to remind you that we are live from Elizabeth, New Jersey at the Vintage City offices. If you're looking for an office space, say you're a small business owner, you own a small little accounting business, and you're looking for a space to work during the day because your kids are just loud in your home office and you need to get out of the house. Well, we have a spot for you, Vintage City Offices. You can go to vintagecityoffices.com/gardenstate and fill out a form. Come work with us here at this beautiful space. We're very happy with our space. It's pretty here, right, Choman?
It's awesome.
Great. Now let's get into the episode. Let's dive into our mailbag. If you'd like to call into the mailbag, the number is
908 67 99 99 3.
What's up, Garden State? Long-time listener, first-time caller. So I just got off a flight in Newark, New Jersey from a long trip out west, and I'm hungry. So what I'm looking for is some nice Jersey diner food right now. It's 9:30 on a Wednesday night, and every diner in like a 20-mile radius closes at 10 p.m. I mean, am I imagining a time when diners were open like 24/7 in this state? Just wondering what your thoughts were, because I'm pretty upset about this. All right, thanks, guys.
No, it's a great
Bro,
call.
getting off a flight hungry at that time,
The worst.
like you don't want to go to a Taco Bell. You don't want to go to a McDonald's. You want to go to a diner.
I feel like Taco Bell is for those moments, though. It's like at 10 o'clock at night. You're looking to destroy your stomach.
Yeah, when I was 18.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think I want to go hang with my friends at a diner.
Dude, we got to be brand friendly. You never know if Taco Bell is going to want to sponsor the Garden State. So.
I know, but I'd rather be honest than sell my soul.
Listen, for me, I'm at the point where I'll sell. Not my soul, but Taco
Someone's going to get the brand deal. They're going to be like, we don't want Chopin. We're going to give someone $10,000.
the face of New Jersey Taco Bell.
Get you one of those cards, unlimited Taco Bell.
This is a great call, and I love how every one of our callers is saying long time, first time now, which makes my life. But
oh, it's the best.
As a Jersey Radiohead. But I will say this is something that happened post-COVID for sure.
You seriously, we're having 24-hour diners everywhere. We had no idea how good we had it.
It's one of those things that we will talk about with our kids.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, that was really a thing. 24/7, you go to a diner. There's a few things that are contributing to this situation. And the first I'd say was COVID kind of destroyed all this because everything got shut down and people don't want to work for these types of spots anymore. Later on today, we're going to talk about minimum wage laws. Spoiler alert, when minimum wage is going up next year to $15. And I'm wondering if these places are like, dude, to keep a cook and a waitress all night, $30 an hour, you do that for 8 hours. It's like, are you going to make that money back? I wonder if it's just not cost effective.
Well, Josh, remember when you and I went to the Chinese food spot like 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And we went to this spot locally and we're like, when are you guys going to reopen back inside? Because since COVID, they closed.
Yeah.
And so I asked them, like, when are you guys reopening? And she's like, yeah, like we would, but no one wants to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
They can't find work.
No way. Well,
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I was going to say, this actually happened to us maybe about a year ago. We were planning on doing a diner review one night, and we couldn't find anywhere to go. We went up to Summit, picked you up, and there was no diners open.
It was rough.
Yeah, it's weird. I think people, it's hard to keep people employed overnight. And I don't know how they ever did it to begin with, but it was, I remember us going out at like 2 a.m. to diners.
All the time, dude. When we were like 18, 19, we were at like diners at 3 a.m. every weekend because it was so much fun with all the homies.
Yeah.
It was a great time. But guys, am I the only one now who's still kind of hopeful that it would come back? Or do I just need to give up that dream?
No, I think you got to give it up. And that goes to the minimum wage thing. I think that
So sad.
small businesses are being crushed right now. They're really just being slaughtered. And I don't think there's ever a time where an all-night diner will come back. Unless it's a big one like Tops, they might be able to pull it off. But yeah, I just don't know how it's feasible. Like you're talking about, it's a lot to keep something going all night.
There's probably like 5 diners left in Jersey that are actually 24 hours. There's a few.
Yeah, there's a few. We've looked for them. But it's sad. It is the end of an era. It's one of those things that you think, again.
It used to be every other like corner. Like, 24-hour diner. Let's go.
Yeah, like what is 24/7 anymore? Is like ShopRite 24/7?
Some, I think very few. I think they're closed between maybe 11 and 4.
Do you remember 24/7 ShopRite?
Oh, because when we were teenagers, once again, we used to walk across Central Ave in Clark to get the donuts when they put them out at 3 a.m. And they used to be like
Really?
clouds. Yeah, dude, we get the first batch of donuts because we had nothing better to do as teenagers. And
Wait, you'd go to ShopRite at 3 in the morning?
yeah, ask Nathan.
That's
Ask Nate.
so
We would go to
funny.
ShopRite just for the donuts. We would get a dozen donuts that came out fresh from the bakery. We timed it perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah, so we used to go to ShopRite at 3 a.m. Didn't need to, but we did it because we had fun, and that's what we did as kids.
It's weird because we're living in times where everybody feels the economic stress of our world.
Yeah.
But also, people are allowed to be more selective than ever about work.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, people are not tripping over themselves to get a minimum wage job or even like an $18 an hour job at ShopRite, maybe like in the bakery. I don't know what they make. I'd imagine you could get a pay raise. But people are like, no, I don't want to do it. I'd rather go DoorDash or work remote for some company.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. I think
people want to be remote. They want to be their own boss pretty much.
I think the minimum wage thing is is interesting because I don't want to give away. I will talk about it later, but I just don't think that these diners can survive anymore.
It's really sad.
We talked to a diner owner we one morning at breakfast a while ago, and he was explaining that it's just really a really cutthroat kind of business, you know.
So if you're flying into Newark, you got to go to like fast food, right?
You're flying
You
into
find a bar.
Newark.
There's like some bars that are open till like 2 a.m. for some food, but it's not a diner. It's not the same.
It's a different
Well,
vibe.
bars, the kitchens usually close, don't they?
That too. Yeah, kitchens usually close like 11. You're right.
Probably for the same reason.
Dude, it's so brutal.
So
We had it so good.
you could.
We had it too good.
Listen, this caller should have just gone into his terminal, spent $80 on a cheeseburger.
But at that time, no, most places are closed in the terminal
they?
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? What happened with the Newark airport? The journalist that went viral.
No, I don't think so.
He tweeted saying, "I just spent $86 on this," and he took a picture of a burger with I guess it was like a rum and coke next to his burger, and.
Yeah, the rum and coke is probably like 30 alone.
The restaurant responded, and they were like, they said that's a $17 burger. You ordered 3 rum and cokes that had double shots of rum
Oh
in them.
my god!
So this
these
works-
journalists are losers.
He was like a big time, like not, this isn't like
Why
some
would you
young
do
guy.
that?
This is like a guy
Yeah.
that's like in his 60s that works for the Wall Street Journal.
You're a loser,
And he's
looking
lying
for
about this.
clicks.
So what the business did, this is really funny. They made the 17, because he said it was $86. So they made the 1786 special. If you go to this spot in Newark Airport and spend $17.86, this should have been a story
Why
today.
didn't we do a story on this? Can we do this story? Like that's amazing.
I could pull it up.
Cool.
But if you go spend $17.86, you'll get a burger and a rum and coke.
Wow.
Yeah.
At Newark Airport, that's pretty cool.
See if I can find it. Here's the article. This is from PolitiFact. Fact check. You can eat a burger and fries for less than $78 at the Newark Airport. So you guys didn't hear about any of this.
This is news to me.
So this journalist goes to Newark Airport and he takes a picture of a burger, fries, and a drink, which I think is like whiskey or something. And it says, "This meal just cost me $78 at Newark Airport. This is why Americans think the economy is in trouble." So he comes in hot saying,
This guy's a loser.
so the owner of the spot he was eating at, his name is Maurice Hallett. He's the owner of 1911 Smokehouse. He comes in hot with a response. He says, "A cheeseburger with fries is $17.76 before tax. A double shot of whiskey is $22. He goes on to say, "Were that order a total meal, the cost would come out to $39.76, add in 6.625% sales tax, and the bill would come out to theoretically around $50. If one added one more double shot of whiskey and an 18% tip, it would come out to $77.70. The restaurant poked back at Brooks. So this guy is a writer for the Wall Street Journal, and he's tearing apart this restaurant. The owner comes back and is like, "No, you just drank a lot of alcohol at the airport."
Yeah, like why would you lie about that? Trying to get some clicks.
I don't know.
Classic journalism.
It's funny though because what they're doing now, like I just mentioned, I'm trying to find they have a poster that they put up, and it's his special, the 1778 special. So this spot comes back and they have a poster now, and it's called the D. Brooks Special, which is I think the guy's name.
That's amazing.
It's the super delicious burger with fries and a double shot of whiskey for $17.78.
That's actually really good deal at Newark Airport.
It's
Like,
just
that's
so
a really
funny.
good deal.
This guy,
Shoot, I wish I was flying out of Newark tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
his
going
name
to LaGuardia.
David Brooks is his name. So this guy is just
Wait,
clowning.
the fact that like they shouldn't have credited his name in calling the special.
I think
match,
it's the shame they're bringing
Yeah.
because that's so
okay.
embarrassing. He's a New York Times journalist.
yeah, but then it's like making people search for him. Like they shouldn't even have to like bring his name up.
I think I would have. I think it's the right move. I think it just shows like there's-
That burger looks great. by
dude,
the way,
this is why people listen to this podcast because we're not like journalists and they just want to get the news from regular people because we realize everybody has this big agenda where they're trying to like. And I mean, I don't disagree with him. I talk about it all the time. Things have become more expensive, but why do you got to lie about it?
yeah,
Why lie?
clickbait. Hello.
And I think the restaurant coming back and called the D. Brooks Special is just
Is there
too
like
funny.
is there like a little thing in fine print saying like when it's like available until or anything like that?
No, it doesn't say
Because
any
that's
sort of-
like a steal at an airport, bro.
yeah for Newark Airport.
Alcohol and a burger.
I will say I'm not gonna fall on the side of the airport here and say like, oh, food is super affordable at Newark Airport because
It's not.
Before
It's
my,
not.
Before my honeymoon, we stopped and got breakfast at one of those nice spots where you're like, I just would never eat there, but I was like, hey, we just got married.
Yeah.
Let's eat breakfast at the airport.
Go all out.
And I think we both got like eggs and home fries and coffee and orange juice, and it was like $110.
Ridiculous.
Like, how is that possible? But yeah, great story. I should have
That's awesome.
thrown this in. I didn't even think about
Well,
it. But
you just added
did it.
in. You just did it.
yeah.
Do you want to jump into the stories, or you want to do one more mailbag?
Well,
real
there's
quick?
one, yeah. I think one more mailbag would be delightful. There was one more that we wanted to briefly touch on because
Little
last
showcase.
week on the way to being here, I saw a truck with Alpha New Jersey on the side of it. Remember?
Yeah.
And we talked about the dinosaurs. We got a call from someone from Alpha New Jersey.
Yes.
No way.
That's amazing.
Check it out.
Hey guys, calling from Alpha, New Jersey. Yes, the dinosaurs are real. But I was calling to see if you guys knew any places to go camping in the fall. Bonus points if you can go camping on the beach. All right, keep up the good work. Thanks. Bye.
Shout out to Alpha. Thanks for calling.
Alpha, New Jersey.
I'll say Jimmy's going to answer this one.
Yeah, I
think
know
sh-
all the best camping spots.
I think she's a little late in the game
To go camping on the beach?
to go camping anywhere.
You have
Yeah,
to
a
have
lot
your-
of these places probably are booked up.
The ones you want to go to.
Everywhere, you got your peak fall foliage coming in. These places are booked out like 11 months in advance.
Give us your top 3 spots for her, Jim.
I mean, I love the Steam Mill campgrounds at Stoke State Forest. I love High Point State Park, and I love Wharton State Forest.
Where can she camp on the beach?
You can't camp on the beach in New Jersey. You can, so there's a little bit of a loophole.
Legally.
There's a little bit of a loophole. So if you have a sport fishing permit at Island Beach State Park and you are actively fishing, you can stay there overnight, but you have to be actively fishing.
Like if you're
at all
actively
times.
fishing, like can you actually set up a tent?
No, you cannot set up a tent on the beach.
They'll like check it.
Yep, tents are not permitted.
That's crazy. Why don't they allow camping on beaches in New Jersey?
I don't know. I don't think they allow camping on many beaches anywhere.
I think it's a cool place to camp.
I agree.
Well, and the thing for her is she won't be able to obtain one of those passes right now.
You probably can find like a sport fishing pass to go on the beach. Yeah.
She won't, I think they're gone by now, right?
Yeah.
So
Can you go to like a private beach like Monmouth or something there where you don't have to pay? Can you just go and you could probably just camp there all night. No one's going to stop you.
I would think the better bet would be to look into Delaware and Connecticut and even New York. I don't know if Long Island has beaches.
Why would she want to leave the Garden State though? You
Well,
know?
because Jimmy just informed us that it's illegal. I mean, we could encourage her to break the law, but
We're not going to do that.
I mean, you could do that. Go camp on the beach, but you're not going to sleep good. You're going to be worried about like a park ranger coming to your tent all night. But as far as other campgrounds go, not on the beach.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options there. You
So,
go to
yeah,
Stokes.
look up those spots that Jimmy just said. They sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Or you can go like a little more lesser known spots, Swartzwood State Park.
Whoa. Swartzwood?
Swartzwood State Park.
Like,
Can you give us something like super south, Jim?
Parvin State Park.
Perfect. We got north, we got south. Anything in the middle there?
Cheesequake State Park.
Whoa, Swartzwood State Park has a nice big lake.
Yeah.
Jim, this place looks great.
You go to Stevens State Park.
So all these state parks have camping.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get at.
Yep. All those
Cool.
places that I just said have campgrounds.
Wow. So you just hooked her up.
Yeah. You got all the spots.
Jimmy Parks knows a lot about parks.
I know all the parks.
Jimmy Parks Rangers, baby. Hey guys, really quickly before we get into the news, we're going to be doing a special mailbag episode coming up.
Yes.
Where we're just going to be because all the mailbags are currently piling up. We can only take 2 or 3 at most an episode, so we want to do a whole episode dedicated to answering your calls. So we're going to be recording that this coming Tuesday. So from the point this podcast comes out until Tuesday, you have time. Leave us a voicemail at the mailbag. Keep it 30 to 60 seconds talking about Jersey. If you have a comment, a complaint, a question you want to ask us, and we'll try to take as many calls as we can for that special episode that we're recording. Josh, what's the number one more time so you can remind them what to call in?
Do you want me to click it or do you want me to say it?
I want you to say it. I'm going to click it, and then we're going to get into the news.
908-67-99-99-3.
The jingle's the best. If you don't want to read it like that, you could always sing it. It's
908 67 99 99 3.
Great. All right, let's get into the news. This first story is straight out of Jersey. You can't make this up. New Jersey police are on the hunt for a man who escaped prison this week, just 5 months before his scheduled release date.
Yo, like if you're that close to being released,
what are you doing?
Why are you escaping this? You're gonna get caught and you're gonna be sent back for many more years.
I don't get this one.
Right?
Especially when you find out how long he served for.
Yeah, you can't get into the mind of I don't know. It's crazy.
So police are looking for a New Jersey inmate who escaped custody during a work detail on Tuesday, just under 5 months before his scheduled release. Edward Bourbon was in the custody of the New Jersey Department of Corrections while he was assigned to a work detail in Mount Laurel, the city's police department wrote on Facebook. Bourbon was assigned to a halfway house when he made his escape. He's described at exactly 6 feet tall, 250 pounds, with blue eyes, brown hair, and gray hair. He had been in custody since 2005 for attempted murder.
And you're getting moved to a halfway house, bro. Like, you're getting out of the prison.
You're halfway there.
You're more than halfway there. And then, like, he's about to be out in 5 months, and when you escape.
He was scheduled to be released in February.
Dude, he must have went crazy. He must have been like, I can't do it anymore.
Well, I've heard of this happening in the past where prisoners will do things right before they're about to get out.
Yeah.
It's because they don't think they can survive
right.
in normal society.
You're right.
They're so used to just being locked up and having meals.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I think Jim has the answer here.
That makes a lot of sense, Jimmy.
That's my guess.
I'm more like the idea of us not having a solution. I like the idea of him just being like messing his life up because I don't like the idea of someone messing their life up, but I like the concept of this guy just not thinking through like there's 4 months till I'm out.
But that's the thing. If maybe he wants to stay in prison, but at the same time, if he escaped, what if he doesn't get caught? Then he doesn't have to go back to prison. So that actually is a flip. Like he actually screwed himself over.
Have you been paying attention to all these prison breaks in like Pennsylvania? They all get caught.
Oh, they
all
got
get
that.
caught.
Dude, that one guy where the dog like bit his face or something like that. Dude,
and
that's crazy.
Then like a few days after that, like 9 people escaped from another prison and they got them all like within a few hours. So they're going to find this guy.
Is that that looks like a show poster for him? Go up, the wanted one with all like the text. That looks like a Netflix show.
Crazy. Yeah, maybe you're right, Jimmy. A lot of people get institutionalized and they just can't live without being dependent on, being in prison.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going to live my life out the rest in prison. But I don't know. But if you do happen to see this guy.
So I guess we're looking in South Jersey, right? Or I guess he could be any part of Jersey at this point.
He was in Mount Laurel, but he could be anywhere by now.
I would imagine he would go to Pennsylvania. Mount Laurel's right there.
If you escape from Mount Laurel, you should just go out into the middle of nowhere.
Hop over a bridge.
Pennsylvania, Virginia.
You remember that scene in Shawshank where the old guy he goes and works at the grocery store?
It's been so long since I've seen the movie.
Saw it once, dude.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good movie. And he gets out, he goes and works at the grocery store, but he's just like, he ends up taking his own life because he just can't
That's so sad.
live outside of prison.
Yeah.
That's the fear of most of these guys.
Crazy, man.
So, yeah, I wonder. We'll see. We'll do a check-in in a few weeks. We'll see how long it takes this guy to get caught. He's probably at a gas station somewhere at this point. Who knows?
Everything good in Jersey happens at a gas station.
I know, dude. It's so true.
Remember that couple that got engaged at a Wawa?
Yeah.
The most beautiful story of the year.
We offered to
probably.
officiate that wedding. We never got a response.
Yeah, no one hit us up. It was so sad.
We said we were going to do a podcast at the altar behind them. We're so stupid.
We have so many brilliant ideas that no one wants to believe us in.
Dude, yeah.
Believe in us. Believe us in. I don't know.
Believe us in.
Believe us in.
All right.
Believe us in.
So if you guys happen to hear about this fugitive and you want to...
if you see him, you should call the cops.
He was an attempted murderer, so he could be a little dangerous. 1-800-523-3829 is the number. We should get a
jingle maybe. So every week we do like a check-in if he's been caught. If not, this is our this is the number you call in if you see this man.
Does New Jersey have its own sect of like Homeland Security?
Oh yeah. Also Homeland Security and Preparedness.
So like the New Jersey Homeland Security hotline, we should just get a jingle for it and be like,
we should make it for
every
them.
time there's a criminal, just put that sound.
Yo, Iltronics, you know what to do.
We can improve those billboards on the highway that everyone was freaking out about.
With this terrorism one?
Yep.
It's 1-800
I don't know.
for terrorism. So.
Look, let's be honest here. If I'm suspecting terrorism, I'm calling 911. I'm not going to be like, what was that number I saw on that?
It's true.
Yeah, straight up, I'm calling the police.
So that's a crazy story. Let's move on to this next one here. A man pretending to be a police officer pulled someone over and stole their phone in Freehold, New Jersey this week.
Hey, you need a free phone? Just pretend to be a police officer. It's so easy.
Yeah.
What are people thinking?
A lot confuses me about this.
Yeah. What confuses you, Jimmy?
So you're going to go out of your way to make your car look like a cop car so you can pull someone over just to steal their phone?
Yeah.
Power trip, dude.
But like,
It's a power trip.
I don't get it. There has to be more to this story. Was there something on that phone that was so valuable to this individual that they...
I highly doubt it.
I don't know.
I think
the dude just wanted to steal something.
I think when you're raised in a stable living environment, like you got a family that really loves you, and you don't commit crime.
Yeah.
It's hard to get inside the mind of someone that's looking to take advantage of people.
I guess.
Like this guy was out pretending to be a cop just so he could steal cell phones. Like I can't even relate, man. It's just so foreign. What's going on in your head? I don't know. So this is in Freehold. A 46-year-old man was arrested days after he allegedly pulled over a driver and pretended to be a local police officer before stealing a cell phone, according to the Monmouth County prosecutor Raymond Santiago. Anthony Burke of Freehold Borough has been charged with 4th-degree impersonating an officer and 2nd-degree robbery, as well as 4 counts of 3rd-degree possession of a controlled dangerous substance. On September 17th in Freehold Township, Burke was in his own pickup truck when he pulled over a driver before taking off, stole the victim's cell phone, Santiago said. Days later, Burke was arrested on Wednesday evening during a traffic stop in Freehold Borough.
What do you think he did? He pulled this guy over and he's just like, yo, let me see your cell phone really quickly. And he dipped.
I always think of Dwight.
Right? Yeah, that's how I think about it. It's like Dwight pulling up to someone. Also, what's the controlled substance he had?
Yeah, that's all the article said. Probably some something drug.
So is that like some sort of drug?
I believe that's what controlled substance means.
Yeah.
He had a pretty cool pickup, though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I'm going to give it to him.
Murdered out Dodge Ram 1500.
I mean,
Nice.
do you think he had like a light strip on it to make it like, how did the person think they're getting pulled over?
I don't know. I'm trying to see.
I would imagine he had.
Yeah, you have to have a light strip on it or something.
Yeah, so.
I mean, like, you shouldn't just like, you're going to get caught.
This
That's the moral of all these stories. You're going to get caught.
This story let me down because if you remember, we did a story on someone pretending to be a cop, but that was an actual up in, where was that? Somewhere up in like, I want to say like East Hanover. There was a guy pretending to be a cop actually arresting people. Remember he brought the guy to the lady to the hospital?
Well, he was actually arresting bad people, right?
Yeah, but he was pretending to be a cop.
Or are
Like-
those the vigilantes?
No, it wasn't a vigilante. He was just a guy that he got arrested by 2 state troopers because he was pretending to be a cop.
But wasn't he doing it like for the good? Like, wasn't he arresting like bad people, like actual criminals?
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was doing. I don't know if they were criminals, like in the
Or
sense
just
of
people breaking the law?
like it was like a car accident he pulled up to, something like that, something inconsequential. Like it wasn't like someone stole and he was like, I'm a cop. Like it was a guy going around. I think he pulled somebody over. I think that's what it was.
I mean, like if you're gonna pretend to be a cop, don't steal a cell phone right off the get. Like you have to like, you know, make it believable at least.
Yeah.
You know? Be a good actor.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think why
Own the role.
Why pretend to be a cop when you could just go be a cop?
Because pretending is so much more fun, Josh.
Yeah, it's true.
You have to go through all the work.
The imagination.
Just put a light strip on your pickup, bro. See how that feels. You're gonna love that feeling.
There
Go in the left lane on the highway, put your lights on, watch everyone move. You're gonna love that.
There is something powerful about it. And we all had that one kid in high school that had a, like he went to the auction at the police station and got the Crown Vic. Or is that what they're called? Crown
Yeah,
Vics?
the Crown Vics.
Back in the day, they were Crown Vics.
With the light on it, and you're like,
Dude,
dude,
so
get
cool.
off the road. You look like a cop. Or the Ford Explorer with the light on it that's just being driven by a regular person. You're like,
Yeah.
come on.
Or you
This
put
is-
a push bumper on it.
Yeah. And they just make everybody nervous. I saw one guy that did that, and on his hood he wrote "not a cop" because everybody.
I've seen things like that
Well,
before.
because
It's hilarious.
you see that car in your rear view mirror on the highway. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm moving over. I'm not taking any risks.
Yep.
It's terrifying. But yeah, I wish I had one of those.
Well, the real cops got him, so he's going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
there's
good.
impersonating a police officer is probably
I
not
hope-
an easy crime to get.
I hope this person got their cell phone back too, in one shape.
Good point. That's a good point. Hopefully they did get it back because that'd be really
Or
annoying.
else, they get a new phone somehow. Maybe it's covered.
Hopefully they backed everything up to the cloud.
You got to back up everything to the cloud these days.
Yeah.
You just never know. This is your reminder to back up all your, all your information, all your photos to a cloud. Next story.
A New Jersey trucker was found with a woman's dead body in his truck this week.
It was right in his cab, right?
Yep.
Dude, you're just driving around with a dead body
It's horrible.
in your truck.
Yeah, it's pretty strange.
What did he do?
Does the article say how long she was dead for? Because I can't imagine it being an
I didn't
enjoyable
see it.
drive.
I didn't see that anywhere when I was reading into it.
So it says a New Jersey trucker was charged with murder and the death of a woman found dead early Sunday morning in the cab of his truck at a Costco distribution center in Maryland. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office was called to check the cab parked at the entrance to the Costco distribution center in Monrovia, Maryland, around 1:30 a.m. The driver, identified as Matthew S. Watley, 46, of Sicklerville section of Gloucester Township, was argumentative and did not want to speak to the deputies, police said. He also appeared to be inebriated, officials said. Watley backed out over sticks placed behind the front and back tires and led police on a slow-speed chase around the facility, according to deputies. When Watley stopped the cab at an exit, the rubber was gone from the passenger side tire, and he refused to get out and would not speak to officers.
Oh, my gosh.
Deputies broke a window and used a conducted energy device, also known as a taser.
Great journalism.
Why wouldn't you just say taser?
I wonder if ChatGPT wrote this article because it's just written so weird, but also like a conducted energy device,
Also known as a taser.
Once inside the cab, deputies also found the body of Candace Thompson, 46, of Sicklerville, on the floor. Watley was charged with first and second degree murder. He was still receiving medical treatment at the hospital as of Tuesday morning, according to Frederick County Sheriff's Office spokesman Todd Wavell. Wavell did not disclose the relationship between Thompson and Watley or why they were in Maryland. So, yeah, it's a homicide for sure, but
I think the main takeaway from this story is the slow chase in the parking lot.
it sounds like something out of Bob's
Imagine
Burgers.
like the cops chasing a cab in a parking lot.
I think you're missing the true moral behind this story
Costco?
here. No. This guy's a dedicated employee. Here he killed someone. She's dead in his cab. He's still making his deliveries.
That's, yeah.
He's still doing his job.
I could see your point there, Jimmy. I mean, it's...
What if she just died on the drive and he had no idea?
I think he's a sick pup.
Yeah.
And he's going to do his time in the
Well,
clinic.
he is from Sicklerville. I think he's going to jail.
I think he's going to go to jail. I think this is... it's not good. That's all I was going to say. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to kill someone, don't leave them in the cab of your truck.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be better ways.
Yeah, I mean... Or just don't kill anybody at all.
I can't imagine like,
There's no
driving around doing your runs with a dead body right next to you. Like,
On
come
the
on,
floor.
man. On the floor. Gosh. Wait, they said he was they said he was sick or he was like inebriated?
Yeah, he was drunk.
So that's why he was in the
Even
hospital. No, because they said he was in the hospital, so I'm just making sure.
Why is a slow speed chase so funny, though? Like a high speed chase, we've all seen the videos.
Because everyone's seen a slow, just imagine a big like truck, you know, the
big
front
trailer.
very slowly moving around a
very
parking lot.
slowly moving, being chased by like probably like 5-6 cops in a parking lot.
And they all have their
Where are
lights
you
on.
going?
Yeah, there's
You're
nowhere
just
to
gonna
go.
go in circles. It's just so funny to picture that. It's hilarious.
It is funny.
Like
Yeah,
animate
well,
that.
At least they caught him, and hopefully they figure out what happened here, and there's some justice for this lady that was murdered because it's crazy. Messed
Yeah,
up.
man. People be dying left and right here in the Garden State, and it's just really sad.
Truckers, man, truckers can be a different breed, and we have some truckers that listen to the pod. They are
tough.
willing to drive 1,200 miles on a Tuesday morning for
Hey, they got to get our products from point
Yeah.
A to point B.
Truckers
and,
are the back-
we salute these dudes.
the backbone of America.
Yeah.
We need a thin line flag for the truckers. Do you know the thin neon line? Do you guys hear about that?
What's a thin neon line?
Oh man, all these kids that are. This is like maybe 6 months or a year ago. Is that right? A thin neon line. It was all these kids that are garbage men in the summer, and they were like, salute your local garbage man.
Sick.
Then we need like a thin. I don't know what it'd be.
Was this the Seattle City garbage men who
did you
went
see that?
viral?
Yeah, they would do like these crazy edits of them throwing out trash.
That's amazing.
Yep.
But
That's awesome.
It honestly looks like four like best friends showing up every day to work.
They're probably
just
having the
a good
time of their lives.
Yeah, it was.
doing
It looked
too. Like,
awesome.
that's a memory you cherish forever.
Also,
like
like
summer
in
job.
Seattle, I'm sure they became like celebrities, right? Like, how cool is that? You're going down the street, picking up trash, people coming
Everyone's
out, waving at you.
cheering, thanking you for your service. So cool. But yeah, shout out to all the truckers.
Yeah, shout out to the truckers. It's not an easy job. Not that I don't know why we had to acknowledge the truckers while talking about this murder. I wasn't trying to draw a correlation between truckers and murderers.
No, but it's a story about a trucker.
Yeah. All right. So if you live under a rock, this next story is going to be for you. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has called Senator Bob Menendez to resign.
I'm scarred with that song of him singing to his girlfriend proposing in front of the Taj Mahal.
Why the Taj Mahal?
Well, it's a pretty epic spot to propose to someone in front of the Taj Mahal, but like you don't have to sing a song like this and just scar the entire internet.
Yeah, I think every now and again stories like this come out and the normies of society, which I mean, maybe I'm a normie, I don't know, but the people that just could never imagine political corruption are like, they found gold bars in his suit jacket. Like, do you hear about this?
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
Like, what in the world is going on?
Is that mentioned in this article?
Yeah,
so people could know. Yeah,
I mean, this article is from CNN. This article is like 6 pages long. We're not going to have time to get through all of it, but I'll go through some of it. We can make little pauses as we go through, if that's all right, if you guys want to talk about certain items. So New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and other top Garden State Democrats are calling on Democratic Senator Bob Menendez to resign, a sign of how quickly the senator's political support may erode after Friday's shocking indictment on federal bribery charges. The alleged facts are so serious that they compromise the ability of Senator Menendez to effectively represent the people of our state, Murphy said in a statement. Murphy would appoint a senator to replace Menendez should he resign, and he's up for re-election in 2024. So Menendez and his wife Nadine are accused of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes, including gold, cash, a luxury vehicle, in exchange for the senator's influence. Bob Menendez has responded to these allegations. It says, those who believe in justice believe in innocence until proven guilty. He said, I intend to continue to fight for the people of New Jersey with the same success I've had for the past 5 decades. This is the same record of success these very same leaders have lauded all along. It is not lost on me how quickly some are rushing to judge a Latino and push him out of his seat. I am not going anywhere. That's what he said. Menendez said the wads of cash found in his jacket, his closet, and other parts of his home were the results of legitimate withdrawals he makes from his savings account.
Wow. It's legitimate.
So
got a lot of money.
He goes on to liken it to being an old-fashioned paranoia of the son of a Cuban immigrant. So he's playing the cards, all the right cards to get people to go, oh, I can relate. He did not address the gold bars and other forms of alleged bribery.
No, the gold bars are from his savings account too, dude.
He had gold bars. Like, you cannot make that up.
That's pretty cool.
What are we doing, guys? People got to wake up in this state.
Didn't his wife get like a BMW or Mercedes or something?
That was the car. And then the other part that's crazy is, so we have contracts with, let me see if I can find it in the article so I don't botch it, but we have contracts with businesses that deal with Egypt. So he was paid off. This guy, Hannah, paid him off, including giving a no-show job to the senator's wife to ensure he could maintain a lucrative exclusive contract to provide halal meat to Egypt. So we have a relationship with Egypt. New Jersey businesses were getting these massive, massive, massive contracts. And one of the businesses was like brand new. It had never existed before, to sell halal meat to Egypt, which I don't know why Egypt would be buying halal meat from New Jersey. That seems like that seems like a backwards relationship, but he was providing.
They have like 5 halal guys opening in Egypt right next to the pyramids. Great for the money.
So there was 2 other businessmen that are charged in this case. This guy, Fred Davis, and Jose Uribe. How would you say that, Joe?
Uribe.
Uribe?
Yeah.
The other 2 businessmen charged in the case, Fred Dibes and Jose Uribe, are accused of paying Menendez in exchange for his help with separate criminal cases they faced. This is like straight out of a movie. So there's 2 other businessmen being charged in this case, and they both tried to pay him off for criminal cases. And it's just it's just amazing all around.
If your whole party is calling for you to resign, like is he just going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting? And like, he's going to have to resign at some point, if not get arrested.
So I believe he was indicted before for something else, and he kind of squirmed his way out of it.
In 2015, he was.
I don't know. What makes me mad about all this is we should be holding these people to a higher standard, and it just seems like all these politicians, they're all lawyers and they can just like squirm their way out
Well,
of
at least
anything.
with this
And
case, you just see like everyone from his party is calling him out.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So you would think he would eventually step down, right?
you know it's bad when what's his name, the head of the party is Norcross. When George Norcross is saying we got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. New Jersey is the movies are accurate. I think there's so much corruption in the state.
What are the odds? Okay, so he was in court yesterday, right?
Yeah.
He pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
What are the odds he gets charged as guilty and like is he going to face jail time?
Josh, let me ask you this: do you think he's going to face jail time?
No.
Exactly.
But
Do you think if
is there a possibility?
I think there's always a possibility of anything.
it's possible, and he might.
Is he going to pay someone off those gold bars?
He might not have to do jail time. I would be surprised if he does jail time. But if it was you or me, we'd be going to jail.
Of course.
That's the moral of the story here. Is like
So corrupt.
there's just I don't even know how we got here. But if it was you or I, if you don't pay your taxes for a year or two, you're going to jail. You can be in political office for 50 years and get gold bars and cash in your blazer suit pockets.
Maybe
and
maybe it was actually from his savings account. Why aren't we thinking about that?
because it's obvious this guy's already been tried with this stuff.
It's just because he's Latino. That's why you're going after him.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm always right.
So
It's interesting. Yeah, it's a crazy situation.
have you ever seen a politician go to jail? Like, I don't think it's even possible.
I'm sure there have been. There has to be.
Yeah, I'm sure there have been, but no, not a notable one.
To be honest, dude, I'm pretty out of the loop with politics.
Yeah.
Ever since this podcast started, I've been getting a little bit more into
Oh.
it, but I'm so out of it.
Actually, Williams. Oh no, this person's last name is just Senator.
do you guys follow the person's last name was Senator?
I think so.
That's funny.
I'm not sure though. Convicted on 9 counts of bribery and conspiracy, sentenced to 3 years in prison. He's a Democrat in New Jersey, actually.
A whole 3 years in prison. Terrible.
Oh, here we go.
struggle.
Yeah. Harrison A. Williams, New Jersey Senator, Democrat, convicted on 9 counts of bribery and conspiracy, sentenced 3 years in prison. This was in 1980.
Wow.
Have you
And
guys?
there's actually a
1980.
whole
Has
there's a
anything
whole
happened
Wikipedia
since?
article. Yeah, there's a whole bunch saying like any political people went to jail.
Have you guys ever heard of the Twitter account Unusual Whales? This has become my favorite.
No.
This is an amazing account. So it started a year or two ago. This guy would track Congress people and senators, their financial holdings. And this is how the whole Nancy Pelosi thing started, where they were like, oh, she, her investments do better than Warren Buffett's. Like she had like a 51% return on 1 year, and she would always sell off massive amounts of stock right before a big turnover. And then they what they do is they would rank people from best to worst, and it'd be like all Republicans, Democrats, everybody doing it. And these people making massive, massive returns, basically just insider trading. That's all it is. They just know what contracts the government's going to dole out, and they invest in the companies. And it's just crazy because if it was any of us, we'd be so in jail.
Yep.
But there's just a different set of rules. So I don't know. I think people are waking up to this stuff, though. I hope. I mean, Bob Menendez is a fixture of New Jersey since we were kids. You've seen the Bob Menendez signs on lawns and everything. He's been here forever, but I hope there's some justice here, because it's not fair that
Look at that gold bar.
And that's what makes me think like there should be term limits on these people.
for sure.
Like once you are in power for that long, you just get greedy.
Yeah,
You just get greedy.
these senators, bro, making guapo. So
Listen, guys, we have politicians like hopping in our DMs. If you guys wanted to get involved in that world, you totally could.
I don't want to get involved. in
I don't
that.
either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the option's there to join the dark side.
I want to go completely dark. I want to get a farm and not be involved in any of this.
Well, bro, you have a podcast that gets hundreds of thousands of views, and your voice is heard.
Also,
So you're not doing that
I
good of a
think-
job. You're on the list to get whacked.
Yeah, George Norcross has me on a list for sure.
Yeah, you say one bad thing, you're done.
the things I say on this podcast, man, I don't know. But I'm hopeful that people are waking up to the fact that we need accountability for our politicians. We need people that genuinely don't want to do the job. This is what calling is. People that are meant to be politicians are the people that are not going to desire the power and the accolades.
So Josh,
gonna go in for-
when are you running?
I genuinely don't want to.
But hey, it might be a calling.
And I never will because
might be a
I couldn't
calling.
handle the stress. But there's a lot of people out there that are like, I could never do it. I don't want to do it, even though they're like lawyers or whatever. And it's like, no, you're the person that's got to go do it.
Jimmy, just do it.
No, I think it's
Take one for the team.
I think it's too hard on like your family life. Honestly,
That's the thing is like, but there's that quote from Martin Luther King Jr. where he says, for evil to succeed, something like that. Good men need to do nothing. There's something like that, some sort of a quote.
Gabagool.
And then I think Tony Soprano said something similar. Now that you use that soundbite. So I think my point in saying that quote is that Jimmy should announce his gubernatorial run.
It's coming. He's just keeping on the low right now. Doesn't want to tell anyone.
What do you want to be commissioner of, Sobes? Commissioner of health? Commissioner of education?
No. Actually, yes, commissioner of health.
I want to be the commissioner of fun.
I said this on the podcast before. My dream would be to revamp our state's health standards.
Okay.
Completely.
Does this have anything to do with like the 5-second rule?
Not the 5-second rule. You're talking about when food falls on the floor?
Yeah.
I think that's yeah, we could do that. I saw this video and it's been going viral recently of when JFK was president, he tried to revamp gym classes in America. And the videos from like
all the kids working out.
Yeah, you've seen that?
Yeah.
From like the early 1960s of these gym classes. Every kid was shredded out of his mind. Not like bulked, but like in really good shape.
Yeah.
And they just raised the health standards. I think it would resolve a lot of the issues we're seeing in our culture right now. Making kids go for a couple mile run every day and do some pull-ups.
Well, I remember that.
So just keep it in mind. That's my point. Yeah, give me a call and we'll get going on that. So
hey, can I be part of it, guys?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna be the press secretary.
Oh,
you're gonna go in front of the camera and be like, "Listen, Jimmy's the governor. He didn't make a mistake. He's a good dude."
Oh, so I get to kind of speak for Jimmy.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
You basically have to. It's like
well, he didn't really say that. What he meant to say.
Yeah, but Chomik would be funny because he'd be like, "Nah, man, that's not the truth,
bro.
That's my boy. He's a good."
It's how it should be. All right. All these politicians are too fake.
Let's get a few more stories in here before we land the plane.
Before we close the door.
New Jersey's minimum wage will surpass $15 in 2024.
This was the goal for a few years now, I think.
Yeah, it has been. It's one of Governor Murphy's earliest goals coming into office. New Jersey's state minimum wage will increase by $1 to $15.13 per hour for most employees by January 1st, 2024. This achieves and exceeds the goal set by legislation signed by Governor Murphy in February 2019 to raise the minimum wage to at least $15 per hour by 2024 for most employees.
Wow.
When Governor Murphy took office in 2018, the state's minimum wage was $8.60 per hour. He and the Democratic-controlled legislature immediately identified increasing the minimum wage as a legislative priority. When I first came into office, one of my top priorities was to increase the minimum wage for millions of New Jerseyans. 1 year later, we put the pen to paper and officially signed legislation to raise New Jersey's minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2024. As we approach this long-awaited benchmark, I am hopeful that New Jersey workers will be able to improve their quality of life and secure a better future for their families in the middle class. Our administration will continue to prioritize our workers, who are the backbone of our economy. What do you guys think?
In 2018, minimum wage was $8.60.
Yeah.
And now it's going up to 15.
Well, it's $14.13 right now. It's going to be $15.13
Holy
next year.
cow! I didn't realize it was only $8.60 back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's only like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of progress in a short amount of time.
Okay, what are other states? Like, are other states like at this level?
I don't know. Well, there's a federal minimum wage, but I don't know.
But that's really low.
What's federal minimum?
I think that might have actually went up recently. $7.25 is federal minimum wage.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have to remember there's a different minimum wage for jobs where you get tipped, like waitresses.
Yes.
And waiters. So
so theirs is less because they get tips, you're saying?
Yeah, they only get like $2 or $3 an hour.
$2 to $3 an hour?
Yeah.
How?
It's a service job, right? So you're expected to tip.
I've never like worked in an industry like that, so I have no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they're like just relying off tips.
Yep.
And
exactly.
people listening who work in the restaurant industry or like do that kind of stuff are probably know how it works, but
$5.26 an hour
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's why you got to be you got
I
to be
think we
nice
should get
to the
rid of
people you're
we should get
serving.
rid of tipping and just make it minimum wage. I think that's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy that
Well, like you don't. Yes, I agree with you, but like still, like if someone treats me super well, like I'm gonna give them a tip and go out of my way.
I'm
anyway.
giving 20% across the board, good or bad. I just tip 20%.
Yeah, unless
Like,
it's really
there's-
good, I'll go 25.
I don't know if I've ever done 25.
Oh, dude, I've had some really good service.
Yeah, but that's a 20% tip. That's the point. The 20% tip is that's really good service.
No, but there was one day where it was really good service, so I went 25.
I always thought 15% was supposed. I always do 20%
I always do
regardless.
20%.
But I don't know. This is convoluted. It's super political because people got a lot of opinions on this. But go ahead.
Real quick, what do you think is the highest minimum wage in the United States, and where is it?
Seattle. It's 18 something.
Okay, Chomik?
It sounds like Sob was pretty confident on Seattle. The way he answered that so quick. So I don't know. I'll go with Sobes. Let's see if he's right.
Well, it's Washington, D.C., and it's $17.
Oh,
I just looked up Seattle minimum wage because I listened to an economist talk about this. $18.69 per hour in Seattle.
So that's just, I'm talking state. Maybe Seattle as a city has a separate minimum wage.
Yeah, because this Seattle Gov says $17.27 an hour. So maybe the city. Yeah, you're right. The city probably has increased.
So, and also Washington D.C. is not a state, but whatever.
I think the reason. So this is. I mean, we try not to get political on here. I know this is super political, the minimum wage. I listened to an economist talk about this a while ago, and it really changed my perspective on it because I think Amazon has as much money as Amazon has all the money in the world. They can eat this hike and it's not going to impact them in any way. Even though I don't think they pay their drivers minimum wage, they probably have been making at least 15 for a while. But I do think I worry about the cost of your local pizzeria. Like those guys are going to have to figure out what they're going to do because they're the ones that are paying, they're paying like high school students to do their work, or they're paying. It's like a low wage kind of job, and they're going to have to pay out more. And I wonder will they survive, or will they just raise the price of pizza's just going to get more expensive?
That's the thing. The economy is in shambles. Everything is going up in price. So that's why it's if you're working, you're like, I want to make at least minimum more money.
Yeah, and I think it's an arbitrary thing because you're going, okay, so what is the dollar amount that you can what's the purpose of minimum wage? I think this is the thing that we don't know how to discuss. Because Murphy said it's going to improve the quality of the life of the middle class, but you're not in the middle class in New Jersey if you're making $15 an hour.
No.
We talked about this recently as friends. What income household makes you middle class in New Jersey? What do you guys think?
Household income?
Middle class, not
100K.
I disagree.
150?
I used to think you make $100,000 in New Jersey, you're middle class. Middle class, you could have a house. You can't have a house in New Jersey making $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, not in today's. What do you think? I genuinely don't know. I heard the state someone told me recently the state did their own study, and I don't have the resource. A friend told me this. New Jersey did their own study on poverty, and they said if you make below if you make below $70,000 a year, you're technically within New Jersey considered below the poverty level, which is crazy because that's
absolutely insane.
But I think that the point I'm making is to live in a middle, what's a middle class town in this part of New Jersey?
Say Clark?
Not
Cranford?
anymore. A house in Clark is $800,000 a year. Clark used to be a middle class town.
Yeah.
Union used to be a middle class town. These are, I think what's happened.
Elizabeth?
No, I think Elizabeth used to be a more urban sort of city kind of vibe, and it's changing for sure. But you go, what's a middle class town? When my parents moved to Union County, the town they moved to was considered middle class, but I don't think it is anymore. Now it's
you think you have to go out further west where?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. What even is middle
somewhere
class?
In Warren
you
County?
can't buy a house in New Jersey making minimum wage. It's just not possible.
No.
So it's kind of well, what are we trying to achieve? I guess I'm not in favor of this. I think people it's hard times to survive. We talk about it all the time. So people need to make more money. But I just don't know if the goal is to make the middle class stronger. I think it's what even is the middle class anymore? That's the kind of the question. because I think everybody has their own definition in their mind, and you go, is it real? I don't know. Like, think about this. If you're a cop in New Jersey and your wife's a nurse, which is kind of, I think, like a classic combo, the cop and the nurse, a cop working full-time making overtime is making over 6 figures. Same with a nurse. Mm-hmm. So that's your middle-class family, and they're making over $200,000 a year. So it's like, what is, I don't know. I think about this a lot. Like, what is middle-class in New Jersey? I think everybody feels the rise in the cost of everything in Jersey. So,
and people are complaining about our $40 T-shirts with free shipping.
With free shipping, yeah, people come after us. It's like, dude, you have no idea. We're packaging them, and I don't know.
I was going to buy a T-shirt online yesterday. They wanted to charge me $10 for shipping for one shirt. It's ridiculous. So free shipping?
Where are you ordering it from?
It was like a third party. It was like a fundraiser shirt.
Yeah, well, is it like from New Jersey or like another state?
It was like one of those big like T-shirt.
Is it coming from out of country?
No idea.
It's expensive.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because we just had a conversation that we'd have hanging out. Yeah. But we're recording a podcast. Do you think it makes people uncomfortable to listen to a podcast talk about money like that?
Minimum wage?
Not minimum wage, but like when we were talking about middle class in New Jersey and actual income numbers.
Some people maybe.
I listen to a lot of finance podcasts. I guess so that's why I'm not uncomfortable talking about it candidly, but like I wonder if people at home are like, oh, this is cringe. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, maybe some people just like don't like talking money or hearing about it at all, and they're just like, yeah, I'm here for the good times on the podcast. I'm here for the laughs.
Yeah, I hate when we go too deep.
Well, you just went deep, brother.
Just went deep. I don't know. I guess the point I'm making, and maybe this is why I should run for political office, which I'm not going to, is I worry about the middle class. I feel like our generation's really struggling to get houses now. It's like it's almost a cliche at this point, going, you know, how are we all going to get houses and live out the American dream our parents got to live out?
The white picket fence.
The ketchup fights. Michael Scott. No, it's crazy. But to the listeners, sorry if that's too real. We could stray away from those sorts of conversations and keep it lighter hearted. I think about it a lot. You know, I have a family now. I'd like to have a house.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you should be thinking about. If you just keep like swaying away from it, you're never going to figure out how to make it in Jersey. These are those uncomfortable things you have to think about.
I think we provide a good balance, right?
Yeah.
We can dive into a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah. To listeners at home,
minimum wage.
Godspeed. Minimum
it's going
wage.
up to $15. Congratulations.
Camden County is honoring 5 former NFL players that all grew up in the same neighborhood.
Wow.
This is a great story to end on.
Did they all grow up at the same time and play together? Or just so happened over the course of 40 years, they all lived in the same area?
Yeah, they just all lived in the same area. I mean, there were some years overlapping, for sure. And I'll read you the article. It says the road to the National Football League began in the Delaire neighborhood for 5 Pennsauken natives. On Wednesday, the Camden County Board of Commissioners, along with members of the Pennsauken Historical Society, elected officials, and former NFL players, will unveil a historical marker to honor Billy Griggs, David Griggs, John Taylor, Keith Taylor, who all lived on Remington Avenue, and Todd McNair, who also hailed from the DeClaire section. What do you think was in the water?
Dude, all these brothers are just playing football together. Well, you also see it now in the NFL. There's brothers who play together all the time. It's so cool. It's like, what are the odds?
These men grew up in the same neighborhood here in Camden County and went on to have incredible careers in the National Football League, said Commissioner Al Dyer. Preserving this piece of history is crucial, and we are thrilled to honor Billy, David, John, Keith, and Todd for their contributions to the sport of football and the Pennsauken community. John Taylor was a 3-time Super Bowl champion during his 9-year career with the San Francisco 49ers. He had the game-winning catch of Super Bowl 23 in 1988 and was a 2-time Pro Bowl selection and a member of the NFL's all-decade team in the 1980s.
Wow.
A 3rd-round pick in the 1986 NFL draft, Taylor played in 121 games and scored 43 touchdowns during his career. Man, so all these guys had pretty amazing accolades, and they all grew up in the same neighborhood right here in the Garden State.
It's really, really cool that they're getting a street named after them, or like, what does this mean?
Yeah, Josh, that's a great question.
Are they just getting a plaque?
They're just honoring them.
If I did all that, I think I'd want a street named after me at least.
Maybe they'll name streets after them. Maybe that'll come as a
Or is
result
there gonna
of
be like
this.
a monument like on that street, like a kind of tombstone looking thing, but it's like a monument. You know what I mean? There's like a monument. What do you call that? A monument.
Yeah, it's called a monument.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's gonna be some result, but
But it doesn't say in the
It
article.
doesn't say. They're just honoring them, but maybe there'll be a plaque, or maybe they'll give them like a key to the city, or maybe they'll put up statues of the five of them running through the neighborhood. I don't know.
I always wanted a key to a city.
Yeah. Does it open anything?
I don't think it opens anything, but it's still cool to have.
Well, you know how sometimes they give people the keys to the city for like a day? That's easier. There's definitely a way for us to get that done.
Yeah.
Can we get the keys to Elizabeth?
We should see if we,
We
can get the
have
key.
some connects.
We'll see if we can get the key to
I just want to
Elizabeth.
hold it. I just want to hold it for a photo and be like, I got the keys, and then like hand it back. That's all I want.
It's a great idea.
Because social media, clickbait, what we talked about today, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last story of the day, boys.
It's hard to believe.
I mean, if I had a brother and we both played in the NFL together, I think that'd be like the coolest like story ever.
It'd be fun. I think there's some. I mean, you see that with those two. Was the Kelsey brothers right
You
now?
see Kelsey brothers, you see Stephon and Trayvon Diggs. So cool. There's others. It's just like, what are the odds?
Yeah. It's slim. I'm sure they're very, very slim.
I know. You just got to be like crazy. Like something's in the water, like you were saying.
I think it's just talent. They're talented and they're raised with the same mindset. So
Yeah.
I guess it makes a lot of sense, actually, if you think about it. If your
Dude.
genetics are incredible and you're raised with like the right people, maybe like your dad was a really good coach and he helps you get good, then it makes sense that you'd be great.
Speaking about football, I just want to say to our listeners out there, I'm like doing fantasy football for the first time this year, like going hard, and I'm 3-0. That's all I'm
Good.
going to say. I'm 3-0 right now. So I'm learning about football. But if anyone had a connect for like Jets Giants tickets and want to hook up the podcast, that'd be awesome because I've only been to one NFL game ever in my life and I really want to go again.
You've only been to one football game in your life.
Well, I got into football. Yeah, I went like maybe in 2017 or something because a friend had an extra ticket, but like I never was into football until COVID. Then I really got into football. Now I love football. So like I'm ready to go. Dude, I'm so ready to go to a game. So it'd be great if someone could like hook it up.
I was raised by a diehard Jets fan.
And you will die a diehard Jets fan.
No, I've given up on.
You can't give up.
I've given up on sports.
No, you got to believe in Zach Wilson. What are you doing?
I think golf's my sport now. I'd like to watch
Dude.
golf on TV.
Golf is on. Dude,
And hockey, the Devils. Let's talk about the Devils for a second, baby. The Devils are
do you
looking
have some
amazing.
intel?
I've
Did
just-
you research this week on the
I've
Devils?
just heard they're going to be so insane this year, and I think I'm a Devils fan.
Well, that's what people said about the Jets.
Yeah, but the Devils were really good last year, right, Jordan? Okay, just making sure. I think I'm going to become a hockey fan this year. Just such an uncontroversial, relaxed sport it's in its own lane. Everyone's talking about football, baseball, basketball. Hockey's on its own little wave.
Every
doing its
sport's on their
thing.
own little wave.
No,
What are you
man.
talking about?
Every weekend it's football Sunday.
It's for 14 weeks, so however long football is, you only get it in the fall.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, when was the last time you turned on a hockey game?
Well, I don't really watch hockey.
Exactly. That's everybody. Nobody watches hockey besides like dudes that, you know.
Well, that's why football's special. It's once a week.
The people that
Every
watch
game
hockey
matters.
If you meet like an iron worker, chances are he's watching hockey.
I'm not downplaying hockey here, but like it's like baseball. You have you have over 100 games to play. So if you lose one game, no big deal. Football, you lose one game, it's kind of a big deal.
I just don't really care, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine. A lot of people don't care about sports.
Like I used to care, and then I watched this movie, and I learned Mickey Mantle doesn't pay my rent.
Exactly. But it's entertainment. You watch TV shows, don't you? Yes.
Movies.
I don't watch movies or TV shows. I watch sports. It's all about what you're into. If you want to be
I guess.
entertained, I watch Bob Does Sports on YouTube. Amazing YouTube channel. My favorite YouTube channel.
You know, there's this excellent quote from the Roman era, since we've been on this wave as a culture talking about how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And they said, bread and circuses. Have you heard of this?
No.
We wonder how Bob Menendez has gold bars in his pockets and wads of cash, and his wife gets a Mercedes-Benz. In the Roman times, they would just put on circuses for people and keep their bellies full of bread. And that's it. And that's us. That's us as a culture. Football every Sunday, wings. Meanwhile, your politicians are stealing money and being corrupt, and we wonder how we got here. That's why I don't watch football. Forget this garbage. We want to turn our brains off. I got news for you. You can't. You can't turn your brain off in the Garden State. You got to stay alert at all times.
I'm trying to follow you here, bro.
What did you not understand
You
about what I
watch
just said?
garbage TV shows.
No, I
Then you
don't.
What shows do you currently watch? And I'll rate them for you.
I'm literally not watching any shows.
What's the movie you watched recently?
the movie I watched recently was I can't think
You're
of
always like hitting us up being like, I just watched this.
I can't think of like there's not a lot of good movies anymore. I'm not saying entertainment's bad, but people don't watch movies the way people watch football. Men in our culture live for football. It is like their identity. Like, when was the last time you were like, oh, I'm going to see this new movie? Like, people do that. They go see a new movie. But sports, I grew up a diehard Jets fan, a diehard Mets fan. Our sports fans, I'm going to lose them for a second here. I'm not saying you can't watch sports. I think my eyes have been opened in the last few years is football is like a mind-numbing agent for people. They turn their brains off to watch football, which I get.
It's relaxing after a hard day, a hard week of work. People want to sit on the couch and watch football.
I understand that. I'm not saying you can't do that. I turned on the Jets game last weekend. It's relaxing for sure. I'm not against turning on a football game. I casually will watch football.
You're against the people who are nuts over it.
If it's your life, if it's the thing that like you get mad at your wife because you're like, I gotta watch football, get out of it. Like I just don't understand.
You can't be like that.
And I get it. At a certain point, you're like, well, it's hopeless anyway to try to care about anything in our culture. So I'm just gonna turn my brain off and watch football. But also bread and circuses, bro. That's
bread and circuses.
We want to see the fall of the American empire. You want to see the fall of New Jersey? Then just eat your cheeseburgers and watch football all the time and stop caring about stuff that matters. Or speak up when things are wrong, have a voice, do something right. We started a podcast to try to make the world better. We're idiots. So imagine if like some of these geniuses that are home watching football actually spoke up.
Well, yeah. Well, they start sport podcasts and they blow up.
Sport podcasts, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. People got to hate me on this podcast. I just think.
Yeah, a lot of comments came in. They're like, we don't like Sobes.
I think I get really stressed out about the state of our world. I think it's like I look around and I'm like,
I'm just
what
like,
is
I just want to watch some football. Back to what I was
saying.
Yeah,
but I got a kid now, so it's like I can't just. To me, it's like I got to leave the world to somebody else.
I can't wait till your kid is playing soccer and you're on the sidelines cursing off the refs.
No, I think that. That's a whole other thing. I don't understand those parents. My dad would just lean over the first baseline fence when I'd strike out. He just would shake his head. I'll never forget. He was never the sports dad that would yell.
You're scarred.
But it was like silent disappointment. Like, dude, you just really went down looking.
Different
type of experience.
That's pain.
And that's almost worse than the dad that's yelling because you're like, oh man,
yeah, you let my dad down.
Yeah, but no, I'll never be that screaming parent at sports. I don't know. I could see you being like that though.
We'll see. I'm gonna film you. I'm gonna film you at like one of your daughter's soccer games. I'm assuming she's gonna play soccer.
Maybe.
That's like the easiest sport to get into. I'm not. Don't. Never mind.
All right.
People are gonna be like, it's not the easiest sport. That's not what I meant. Anyway, I want to go to a football game. You guys down?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to football. We need a company outing. Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to the podcast. This will conclude this week's episode. We will see you back here next Friday. Have an amazing weekend. We'll talk to you then.
Later.
A reminder to call into the mailbag.
Oh, yeah.
For our special episode coming up.
Before we end the podcast, we want to let you know we are going to have a mailbag only episode coming up. So call in 908-67-99-99-3. Leave us your questions, comments, concerns, or tell us how our driving is.
Yeah, I would love that.
Or tell us how driving. That's incredible.
We should make a bumper sticker.
I haven't seen a bumper sticker like that in so long.
We should make one. I think that's a good idea. All right,
and a reminder, our hoodies are on sale.
Our hoodies are on sale.
TheGardenState.com. Support the show. Support the program. Support the movement. TheGardenState.com. Get your merch today. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Today.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Later.
You're listening to The Garden State. The Dirty Jers.